Hey there, creatives. Carrie Silly here, and today I want to take just a few minutes and give you some tips and tricks on the best way to use and care for your gel press plates. So you can see we'll start out with the best way to store them. So you know that they come in these great little clamshell cases, but what you want to do is whenever you take it, you're going to go ahead and open it like you normally would, and it comes with this little piece of paper. Throw that away. And then it also comes on a piece of plastic acetate. Can you see that little piece right there? You want to take that off, and here's why. You're never going to put it back on as well as the magic machines do in the factory. That's really just for the processing and the making of it. And so if you put it back on, you run the risk of leaving air bubbles that will then leave divots and stuff in your gel press plate. So what we recommend doing is literally just taking those both off, taking this paper, getting rid of it, and just every time you're done with it, just lay it right back in your clamshell case, clamshell it back up. Another tip, you don't want to lay them flat. And the reason for that is if by chance you're especially like me and you don't tend to clean your plates off, because I like that grungy little bits that get left on there, those things, if you don't use them for a while, can then press down into your plate and again leave those little divots and those little bumps and stuff in it. So you want to make sure that you lay it straight up and down like a book. I actually keep mine on a pegboard, which is super handy. It keeps them all in one place, but you want to keep them up and down just like this, like a book, and it'll help keep your plate from getting little divots and bumps and that kind of thing in it that might down the road might actually affect your print quality. So we don't want to do that. So next I'm going to change the camera angle so that you guys can see, and I'm going to show you the 3 easiest ways to clean your plate off, especially if you're like me and sometimes there's a while in between cleanings. I'm going to show you 3 easy ways to get it clean like that. See you in just a minute. All right, friends, we are back. And like I said in our intro, we're going to go over a few of the best ways to keep your gel press plates clean and usable for years to come. I've got 2 here. One you can see is very, very crusty because I tend not to clean them sometimes, or I forget about them. This one is another one that has just a little bit of paint on it, so we're going to play with that one first. As you can see, I keep them in the clamshell case without the paper and without the plastic sheeting. And I'm just going to set that right down there on my surface for just a second. So the #1 best way we tell people how to clean their plates is by simply applying more paint and allowing that to do the lifting for you. So I'm going to pick just this kind of funky, this kind of fun pink, only because it contrasts really well with this paint I have on there. And just pull a print like you normally would. Now if it's been sitting on your plate for a while, your best bet would be maybe to apply your wet paint and then allow it just to kind of sit for a few minutes. Oops, sorry about that. Forgot to get my... So I'm just going to brayer this across just like I normally would. And what that's going to do is it's going to kind of rejuvenate that wet paint that's on there. And then it's going to allow me just to pick it back up because that paint is going to want to stick to the new paint, and then my paper more than it wants to stick to the surface of your gel press plate. So I'm just going to take this and give it a nice little rubby-dub-dub. This is just some regular copy paper that I keep on hand, just for playing and doing all sorts of fun stuff. So we're just going to give that a nice little rubby-dub-dub-dub-dub. And I am putting a little bit of pressure on it, only because I know that paint's been sitting on there for a while. Obviously, if you were doing a regular print, you wouldn't normally put this much pressure on it. And then I'm just going to do peel and reveal. And you can see, except for those little pieces, it's pulled up pretty much all of that aqua color that was on there. And these are just bits from, I guess, another color paint that was under there. So you can see, clean plate, ready to go for the next one. So what happens if you are like me, and I don't remember why I left this on there. And you can see it's pretty crusty. That is not going to come up with just regular paint. So there are two options for removing it that way. I actually learned this from this fabulous French lovely lady that I met at Creativation. So she took, this is just plain old, you can see mailing tape, clear tape, and she just took it, and we're just going to line it up, give it a nice little press down, and actually I'm going to go ahead and tear this so that I can do more than one. There it goes. And I'm just going to give that just a nice little massage. Maybe even do a little fingernail across, because like I said, this has been there for a while. And then I'm just going to peel this up. Voila. Pretty cool, right? And then this little piece that are super stuck on there, I'm just going to take and just do the same thing again, give it a nice little press with my packing tape. And you can see that cleans it up really well, and bonus, you now have a cool piece of tape with some funky, crackly paint all over it. You can use, I guess, really either side, because this side's pretty cool too. Actually, I kind of like that side better. Ooh. So that's the second way that you can clean your plate. Both those are my favorites. Now, say you don't have your packing tape, or it's just not working, or whatever the case may be. Your next thought is to take just hand gel, like some hand sanitizer. And what that's going to do is it's just going to kind of eat that paint away a little bit. So I'm just going to add a little bit to this plate. Give it a nice little rubby dub. And you can see it's already starting to peel the paint up. So this one works better if you allow it to sit for just a little bit, and it'll kind of loosen all of that paint. So I'm going to give this just maybe like 5-10 minutes to kind of sit, and then I will be right back to show you the clean plate. All right, so we are back, and I gave that maybe a couple minutes, and I kind of worked it a little bit with my finger to kind of get the paint moving around a little bit. And now I'm going to take just like a wipe or a washcloth or a paper towel, something like that. And I'm just going to just wipe the plate down. This is my daughter's hand sanitizer, and it's called Magical Mango. So it smells good in here too, so yay. And according to the box, unicorns made me do it. Or the bottle, I guess. So then I'm just gonna keep giving it some nice little rubs. And if you get a little stubborn spot, just add a dash more. Now this is one you don't want to do very often. Like this is like desperate times, desperate measures kind of thing. Because it just disrupts the surface of your plate just a little bit. That's okay. We're going to do a technique for that here in a second too. This awesome. Oh, apparently I had paint right there, and now I have it on my plate again that I just cleaned. Yay! And then I'm actually going to take a wet. Those were kind of a little dried out, I think, because they've been in my studio for a little while. But I'm just going to use some good old wipes. I think that's why they got kind of fuzzy, because they were a little dried out. I'm just going to wipe that down. Perfect. Get those last little nubby bits off there. Good deal. So now you can see I have a nice clean plate to work with again. Yay. So here's another little tidbit to help you. If you've ever been working on your plate and you've noticed that either your paint is sticking more than it used to, or your prints just aren't coming out as crisp, here's a little tip to help you kind of rejuvenate your plate, because they can get worn out just like all of us, just like the rest of us. So I'm going to take just a couple of drops of just regular old baby oil, and I'm just going to, 2 or 3 drops, put on there, and I'm just going to give it just a nice little baby massage here. And what that's going to do is that's going to help rejuvenize and the surface of my plate. It's just going to give it kind of a little moisture coat and help revive all the springiness. Because, you know, we all get tired and sometimes need a massage to help us feel like ourselves again. And it can just kind of happen that sometimes it can be a little bit of a residue that we're not seeing from all the paints and the alcohol inks and all that kind of stuff. So I've just massaged it for a couple minutes. And then I'm just going to just wipe off any excess. Beautiful. And now we're just going to do a quick just play since we can. So I'm just going to take that same pink. There it goes. Probably did. And it's burring beautifully across this. And then I'm going to take just one of my texture plates from Caravelle Studios. Give it a nice little pat into my plate. Peel it up. Yes, look how beautiful that looks. And then we could do something funky, but we're not. We're just going to keep it easy. And I can already feel that it's sticking to my plate better. My page isn't shifting. My paint is sticking better. All right. And you can see I have a beautiful crispy image. Again, from a plate that in the beginning of this video was really crusty and dirty. So, there you go. So those are some of my helpful tips for not only keeping the longevity of your gel press plates, but also just ways to help clean them and ways to make sure that you're getting your best print possible. I will also put these in the comments just in case you need some help remembering. And can't wait to see you next time. Let me know if you use any of these techniques or if you have any techniques of your own that you like to use to keep your gel press plates in tip-top condition and to make the most beautiful prints possible. Thanks so much. Have a great day. See you next time.